Right, welcome to today's bite-sized training video where we'll be covering the quality improvement tool, product families. So by the end of this session, you should have a good understanding of what we mean by when we say product family and how this relates to service improvement projects and change. So what exactly do we mean when we say a product family? Let's use the next slides to explore this a little bit further. So, in a nutshell, a product family is a concept that comes from industry and production lines. However, the concept of this can still be applied to the NHS and patient care and how we produce care within the NHS itself as well. So, a product family is described as a group of products, processes, or in our case, investigatory tests and general patient pathways, which all utilise similar pieces of equipment, the same machines, the same systems, and also have similar logistics around timescales and how long it would take patients to move through that from a patient flow perspective. It's a way of assessing systems and needs really from a perspective of the process. And a good example of this, and to think about this, would be path labs and the analysis of samples and tissues. There'll be lots of different wards and different departments and areas that all have various tests that will need to be run in path labs, but the likelihood is that even though it's a different test and has a different outcome, that the processes, the machines, and what goes on could be very similar to other tests that are run. So in theory, they would be kind of grouped to be classed as a similar product. What we've provided you here on this slide is a little example of how this would look, because it can be a little bit difficult to get your head around this particular QI tool. So this shows the products from P and Q down the left hand side, and it was basically P, Q, RS and T, and what I've done next to them is kind of give an example of what that might be. So for example, product P might be a AA battery, product Q might be a AAA battery, product R might have been a 9-volt battery, and so forth. And as you can see, what we've got here then going across the top is the processing steps and the machines that it would take to create these types of batteries. As you can see in the middle, what they've done is they've kind of ticked and referenced which particular product, as it moves along its production line, it utilizes what pieces of equipment. And as you can see, the first two products, P and Q, they have a lot of things in the same boxes that are ticked, and they've actually been grouped together to be classed as the same product family. Funnily enough, these are the AA and AAA batteries, which you'd imagine, because they look quite similar, of the same size and of, I know, internally working, that they would have been going through exactly the same processes to make them, except for maybe just a little add-on step to make that one battery slightly bigger than the other one. But as you can see, when we're looking at and then compare those steps to the 9-volt battery, the 9-volt battery is a standalone thing. It's a completely different product, moves through different services and has different steps in its production. So in theory, what we could do then is start to look at this and group this in the same way and ask the question, what products go through the same processes and have the same procedures involved, and similar logistics too. So in healthcare, this is probably likely going to be identified by condition, not actual product. So when you think about particular services like maybe theatres, there are a lot of different types of surgeries that occur. However, if we are to apply the product family mantra to this, it would be looking at the surgeries that are of a similarity, where they're using the similar pieces of equipment, staff members, as well as have similar logistics around how the timescales for them to be done. So anything along them lines that could be, all lower limb, for example, could in theory be classed into being classed as the same product, as long as those things aligned. I know it's a little bit of a different one for us to try to get our head around, but really what it helps you to do is to really analyze where within multiple streams do you have, say, things that all require one piece of equipment, and it just helps you to then understand what that backlog and the bottleneck would look like if you're looking at it from a broader perspective. So in this example, what I've tried to do is include a hypothetical scenario of when tests come to labs. And this is an example of just a blood scenario. It's not factual, so please bear that in mind, but it's an example of how this could work in reality. So only two processes, as you can see here, share enough of common features to be classed as one product. And when it comes to the work demands and capacity, these could be grouped. So if on average you received, say, 20 LFT tests and 40 TROP-T tests per day, in the purpose of understanding the workload and the capacity and demand, you would just group them together to say that actually we have 60 of X that we need to complete here, because although they're slightly different things, what it takes for them to actually get to the completion point is the same. So we start to group our work, and instead of it becoming more siloed work from different areas, now we understand what the full ask is in one area from everywhere. And it enables a more precise review on what machines that you need and what things are required in a system to get from X to Y to a completed product. Like I said, a lot of it relates to industry and production of things on a production line, but a patient moving through services and us producing, say, like a theatre's appointment or some kind of scan or something are going to be exactly the same. So why do you think you'd use a product family analysis? And what we've got is just 4 really high-level ideas on the screen for you, just to show why it's important. First of all, it gives you a real full, clear understanding of all your system utilization that is needed on processes and machines throughout a process. And it lets you identify sources of work as well. Where is it coming from and how much per day? So you know then, well, what do we need within our service to meet that demand? It enables you to track trends and see the variation over time. So again, you might have, especially during winter pressures, surges in certain things, which mean certain product families are hindered and take longer. And it enables you to see basically trends in the process over time as well. So it's not really just the variation, it's okay, does it look the same as it looked last year here? And can we use this as a planning tool potentially? So I recognise that product families is probably going to be a very new concept to you on this, but so if you'd like some more information on this, have you got any questions or anything at all, please reach out to the Leadership and Improvements team from the enclosed slide, and we will be happy to support your and learning journey. So also enclosed is some information regarding other programs available. Some of them are looking at different quality improvement courses and different leadership courses. Some of them are half days, some of them go all through to full days, and it's the variety of this there really. It's up to you, I think, on maybe about identifying which ones you need next. So many of the courses as well, we have CP accredited, and we're also looking at getting more of them accredited in the near future. We're going to keep you updated on anything else that we have via marketing from Strive. Please do get in contact if you need us following this training. Thank you very much.